Hold on. There we go. Hey, peace and blessings. Welcome back for another great episode of the Square Table Talk Show, where you can get back your square only at the Square Table with me, myself, celebrity interviewer I Said It, and the legendary and beautiful
Mimie Acosta. How are you?
Peace Queen. I'm great. I'm great. You trying to beat me to the punch. How are you today? You look great like always.
Thank
You
you.
just look legendary all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of you. I can
I
never
am
tell you
proud of
this.
you.
I'm proud of you for real, for real.
Thank you.
We've been doing this show successfully for so long now. Where did the time go, right? We've
That's
been
right.
doing this show because we like to document things.
Mm,
We've been doing this show since February 2022. Every single month. We missed a couple of months due to holidays and things of that nature. But we've been here and we've been
yes.
speaking about like some really important topics. Like what's some of the topics that we've heard on this show, and then tell the people what the topic of the day is today, please.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we talk about everything, guys, everything live, from everything in TV, film, and music industry, and all sorts of other industries, because there's so much happening with everyone, no matter what walk of life you come from. Today's topic is definitely suicide prevention, because it is,
Mm.
Suicide Awareness Month. So we're talking about suicide prevention, and we have some wonderful people that we're going to have on a panel in a second. We're going to have a great conversation. So stay with us.
Yes, absolutely. And so let's not waste any time. But we appreciate everyone that's here and watching right now and everyone that will see this in the future. First thing you want to do is you want to press that share button. You want to share this to your friends because you may not have experience with suicidal thoughts or anything like that. But I'm sure somebody in your family, someone in your circle, someone in your neighborhood, your community, someone that you know that this could help today. So that's why you want to touch that share button. You know what I mean? So with that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's start bringing in our guests because we have some fabulous guests here today, like always.
Yes.
And our first guest we want to bring in represents Chicago. And man, this woman is just extraordinary. And I'm just grateful to have her today. So, let me go ahead and bring her in. Peace
Hello.
to you, Queen. Hey, how are you today?
Pretty good. No complaints. God is good.
Yeah,
All the time.
no,
That's right.
Yep, absolutely. So please let them know who you are, how they can support you, because you are so great at what you do, and I'm so proud of you too, Angie.
Thank you. So I pretty much do a little bit of everything from public speaking, radio host, sing, model, poet, act, just a little
Yes.
bit of everything. Just super blessed. And you can follow me on Facebook, Angie A Love, or Instagram, a.love underscore number one diva.
I
All
love it.
right.
I
I
love it.
love it.
And
Yes.
congratulations. Congratulations. Did you recently just accept an award?
The model of the year, yes.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
That was Lux
Congratulations.
Fashion. Yep, that was Lux Fashion. Yep, amazing. And my little
Nice.
girl, her too, for child
Hey,
model of the year. So shout out my baby girl.
Yes.
Thank you.
like,
Yes,
yes. How rare is that? A mom and a daughter. You know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
That's
To
what I
go ahead.
said. I was like, oh, both. Okay.
God is
Yeah.
good all the time.
Yes.
Love it.
Amazing.
Yep. So soon we'll be able to hear your thoughts about today's topic. But first, let's go ahead and bring in our next guest, if you don't mind. And she's out of Florida, and she's a good friend of mine as well. And I'm so proud of her. So let's bring her on the screen.
Hey,
Peace to you, Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yes, absolutely. All the way from Florida. We appreciate you being here today. Please tell them about your greatness and how people can support you, please, if you don't mind, ma'am.
Well, I am Nala. I am the host of Power 904 Online Radio. We run a magazine also called On Our Radar right here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I also run my own audio podcast on Spotify, Pandora, iHeart. So I do all of that. And we also represent mental health. So you can
Yes.
find me on Instagram under In the Den with Nala, all underscores. And you can find me on Facebook as Lameka Huntley.
Mm,
All right.
okay. I love it. I
Love
Okay.
love
it.
it. And again, like I say, so proud of you too. You know what I'm saying? You're doing some big things. And just the fact that you on an everyday basis, representing and showing support to those and giving them a platform for those who suffer from mental health. That's very important. And so,
Yes.
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yep,
yes.
absolutely. And we can't wait to hear your thoughts about, today's topic. And we do have another guest, but we'll be bringing him in soon. But before we bring him in, we're going to go ahead and kind of jump into this topic today. And we're going to start speaking about, what this topic mean to us. So first, I'm going to put the mic on Mimie, and she's going to start. And then I'm going to go, and then we're going to pass it to Angie, and then we're going to go back up to Lameka. So that's what we're going to do. So Mimie, if you don't mind, please tell us what today's topic mean to you, and what comes to mind when you hear, man, suicidal prevention awareness conversation.
Yes, well, I know that this is definitely Suicide Awareness Month, but it's really
Yeah.
interesting because it's something when we put everything in this box, right? And you want to put mental illness and all these different things in one box in 1 month, and suicide awareness is all the time. It's just like Mother's Day. We're a mother all the time. Like these are just things that it is what it is. For me, because the definition of when you're talking about suicide, we're talking about the act of deliberately killing oneself. And of course, there's all types of different risk factors, and you've got suicide behaviors, which we're going to talk, as we move forward. But it definitely means a lot to me. I actually have a brother that I lost to suicide in 2016, the week of Thanksgiving. It's something that we didn't see coming. It just really hit us from the left. I was actually in California working when it happened here in Georgia, in front of my youngest brother who lives with me now. So it's just, this is really deep, like skin deep, heart deep, mind deep, because at the end of the day, like I said, you don't catch it. It's really heartfelt, and I'm not alone, when I start thinking, because sometimes when it happens and it happens to someone so close to you, you're thinking, what could I have done? And there's really nothing. Like I had to learn throughout the years that there's nothing that you can do to prevent what people decide that they're going to do when they're going to be selfish and do what they do. So for me, it's really interesting, the entire topic. I am really interested in getting to know everyone here and what everyone brings to the table as far as their thoughts. And of course, with I'm gonna say the name wrong. Nala. That's it.
That's
Nala's
it.
Den. Nala. Yeah, let me get it. The fact that you actually have somewhere where people can tune into as far as that awareness is concerned. I'm really, really excited for that and excited to share that information and put you on blast, baby, because let me tell you something. Folks need help. People need somebody to talk to. They need resources. And if you have it to give it, sweetie, yeah, we're sending people your way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for that, Mimie.
Yeah.
And
You're
also,
welcome.
again, my condolences to in reference to your brother. That's
Thank
very
you.
sad, and my prayers to anybody who's watching this show who has lost someone due to suicide. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. With that being said, I want to share first, what's this topic means to me, and then I'm gonna read a couple of statistics. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it brief though. But when we came up with this topic, it was very important, to speak about this. I've also had someone, a friend of mine who was a neighbor, commit suicide, had shot himself in the head at a very tender age, at like he was like 22 years old, based on, not wanting to go back to jail, you know, and it's like not like he would not have survived a few more years in jail. It's just the fact that it's just sometimes the fear of the non-knowing of what's going to happen this time when you go back to jail, and who knows what his experience was that was so bad that he felt like he could not ever go back, that he would rather take his life, unfortunately. So rest in peace to Carlos. And with that being said, I want to get right into some of these statistics. So it says, according to some sources, 63% of suicides in the United States are single parent families, which is 5 times the average. Children from single parent families are also more likely to experience other challenges, including mental health, substance abuse, homelessness, incarceration, and poverty. I work in construction, and this was actually a letter that was sent to me by one of the companies that I have represented. I was hoping it was a check in the mail. I'm like, good, they about to send me some money they forgot to send, you know what I'm saying? But I opened it, and it's still very important. You know what I mean? It wasn't a check, but this is actually what it was saying. It was speaking about, it says, many of you all that's reading this letter have been affected by suicide, and we are sorry. Some of you all are right in the thick of caring for someone with mental health issues. Our industry operate and has a suicidal rate 4 times higher than the national average, and all the levels of construction workforce are increased risk of suicide. So basically, a lot of people who are construction workers have a lot of mental health issues as well, and they, go through suicidal thoughts as well. And so that's very sad, and that's not something that I knew before getting to this industry. Um, but I don't feel like that's something that's going to affect me, God willing. And the last statistic I want to share real quick, and I appreciate everybody who's tuning in too. The total age adjusted suicidal rate has increased 30% from 2002, 10.9 deaths per 100,000 standard of population, to 2018 up to 14.2, which has now declined in 2020 from 13.5, then increased, obviously due to the pandemic quarantine, it went back up to 14.2. And so, again, that's just really sad. And those are really high numbers, you know what I mean? And that's just too many. Any number is too high. And so with that being said, thank you for everyone being here. And, and if you do have, suicidal thoughts, there's numbers you can call, there's people you can reach out to. All you do is just Google, you know what I'm saying? And reach out to someone that loves you and cares about you. And think about the people that's going to be left behind and have to have those memories of losing you before you take that leap and do something that can be, like Mimie said, can be considered selfish, because at the moment you're thinking about yourself. But respectfully, I understand, in the moment it's not considered selfish because you're so composed with these thoughts and things that's going on. I always like to compare it to, like, when you fall in ice, and they say when you fall in ice, it's hard to find the opening, the exit, that where you fell in, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what suicidal thoughts is. I like to use as an analogy. It's like being trapped under ice, and you can't, and you're drowning, and you don't know where the exit is. And it's that simple, you know what I mean? And with that being said, let me go ahead and please pass the mic to Angie. And what does today's topic mean to you, with all that being said?
So suicide prevention to me, it's a lot of people have their different perspective, but I think it's literally a cry for help. Like, literally, you can be going through anything, and I feel like there's always signs there. People might think they don't notice the sign, whether it's somebody complaining about the job, relationship. And that's why I always believe in, like, encouraging, uplifting somebody, compliment somebody, because you never know. Even just telling somebody, good morning, beautiful, or have a good day, like that, literally, that comment might be the entire day, because deep down they might be feeling low inside about something that they're going through, anything. So it's always a sign there. We just ignore it or just bypass certain things, but there's always a sign there. You just have to pay attention and always uplift and try to encourage any way you can.
So absolutely.
Definitely try to help. Definitely is.
No, I totally agree with that. That's exactly what it is. It is a cry for help. And hopefully the help comes before,
the action.
They do the
right.
action. Yes, ma'am. In that order.
Yes, and if I may piggyback on that, I mean, it's really interesting that that you say that, and I thought about that, like even with my brother's case, and I speak about him more because that was so personal. But it's really interesting that after he passed, right, then we started to think like, oh, he reached out to this. Like my brother did some really strange things during the course of that time frame, and he was just going from like person to person and going to people, because he had went down to the Virgin Islands. He had not been home in like almost 30 something years, And while he was home, he went talking to like different family members and people he hadn't spoken to in a long time and apologizing for things that they may have gone through from like in school. And we're like I didn't get it then, but it's really interesting that now when I see or I hear people doing these type of actions, it's like we got to pay attention to this person and we got to bring him out from whatever funk they're going through. We got to bring him out.
Yeah, we ignore the sign because you never want to like think this. And some people are like very verbal with it, like they feel like giving up or they feel like they're not loved. But there's some people who are silent. Those are the ones you have to watch, the ones that are silent. Because remember, silent cries are just as loud, whether you think it is just as loud. You just have to pay attention. Always, like I said, encourage, uplift. Tell your family members, your friends, you love them. Always, compliment, because like I said, you never know what a person is going through. You never know.
Yes. Yeah, that's the sad part. Now that it's hit home, because it's really interesting that it's only when something hits you right here that you're like, OMG. Like, now I'm in everybody's Kool-Aid now, just because it happened at home. Whereas before that had happened, I would just be like, oh, we got to pray for that individual because they look like they're going through something. But now I get more involved, like, Mimie, stay out of the Kool-Aid. Now we got to grab that person and find out what the hell's going on over there. We got to clean them up, shake them up a little bit, dust them off, do something with them, because we got to snap them out. They got to snap out of it, So yeah, I'm more involved now as a result of that.
Yeah, no, thank you all for sharing that. And we also need to love the Nala, we haven't forgot about you, and we want to hear what your opinion is today, actually, on today's topic, when it comes to suicidal prevention awareness, conversation. What does this topic mean to you today? And as we get into this conversation. Thank you again, Mimie.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm a big advocate of suicide prevention. Of course, I was a part of that. I lost my dad at a young age. So when I was going through it, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. I grew up the only child. It was just me and my mom. So after he passed away, me trying to talk to her and she going through what she was going through, she kind of shut down. So we both were living in a house where we weren't able to communicate. So as I kept growing up, I began to turn to alcohol. I would just go out, get drunk, wasted, you know what I'm saying? And I was hanging with the wrong crowds. I would get in my car. I've been in plenty of car accidents, almost lost my life. Like she said before, you got to notice the signs. I cut all my hair off. Nobody noticed. Like my family would sit around and talk about me, but nobody ever asked me what was going on or why are you doing this, but I was always the topic of, the dinner table, but nobody ever reached out. So again, that's where In the Den with Nala came from. I started this because I needed people to talk to. And doing that, I realized that there were people that related. There were people that actually went through things. And that's what helped me get out of my situation of not feeling good enough for my family or anybody, or why nobody ever noticed me, or they noticed things, but they were the wrong things. And that's not what I was looking for. So being able to mature mentally and grow into that is what started, me focusing on mental health on my podcast. And then I reached out to Power 904, which they was an advocate of that as well. And we began to build that together and stand together. And on my platform, I use that even with artists, producers, DJs, anybody. Like, we're all human, and people don't realize that even though we're out here smiling and doing all this stuff, like some of us be hurting for real, and we need an outlet. And that's where I stand with this. So
yes. That's amazing. That's amazing what you do. Like, I absolutely love it. Sorry and condolences to your dad, because even as a child growing up and you lose dad, whether it's dad walked away from the relationship or dad did what he's done and you're without him, and you grow up without that, that father figure and the searching and the disconnect from family, because we went through the same thing growing up at home. My mom was the single parent to four of us that, honey, and we were off the chain. Okay, all I'm gonna say. So we were some off the chain kids. So to say the least, I mean, we were great because we never brought drama to the house. but we were four busy bodies, you know what I'm saying? And her just working as much as she did, and us basically just doing us and making sure that we were cooking for each other and doing things for one another, you know, and then you grow up close and then something like this happened, you know, it's a heck of a tragedy. And of course, now, you know, we're seeing now what the music industry and a lot of these industries are coming to. You know, it's all a mess. There's going to be a lot of different things to clean up. And this is the one thing, suicide. It seems like the go-to for people to cop out, and it's not. Like, that's not the answer. You know, you really need to like reach out to somebody. But the thing is that you have a lot of people that have a lot of pride. And when you grow up kind of like, you know, like yourself, by yourself, you grow a kind of thick skin.
Yeah.
But at the same token, you are selective as to who you reach out to. Like, you're reaching out to people, helping everybody, but you also need to talk to somebody too.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, we need an outlet too. We're always helping people, but we also need our own little outlet, you know? So I actually like this outlet.
Yeah.
Right here. This is a great conversation.
And I want to piggyback off what you said, like you're selective about who you open up to. Like I grew up like shut down, or I'm really closed off. I'm a closed off person. So if I open up to you, that means I trust you. And it took a lot for me to get to that point.
Yes.
So if I begin to share my vulnerability with you,
Yes.
and you take advantage of that, then it's going to cause me to shut down again. And I will reach out to, you know, other people, but then that's when you become the bad person at that point. And it's like, no, I trusted you with something real.
Right. Right, because that's exactly what we call it, real, because this is real. You know, you've got folks that come with whatever they come with, but when you're talking about yourself and giving, because this right here is big, you know, and when you stick a needle in it, it's almost like a balloon. You can't unpop that balloon once it's popped.
At all.
You know, so yeah, you can put tape on it if you want to, but that bad boy is going to air down eventually, because people that come with their shenanigans are on their shenanigans. There's nothing we can do about it, but we could separate ourselves from it. You know?
That's what helped me. You got to get yourself out of that environment. Like that, and that's what I had to do with my family. Like, I moved to a total different state. I'm from Georgia, but I moved all the way to Florida with no family, no nothing. So I don't have to deal with the negativity. That's what helped me. And even though I'm alone without family, like, you have to be able to build your own family. You got to be able to be strong. And like I said, trust those people that you're trying to build with, because it's not easy, especially in a different state. Like, you know, you don't have nobody to just go over their house and do this with. Or
I've been here 20 years. I've been here 20 years. Where you been? Because I would be like, I need to go. She need a hug. Let's go.
No, and if I may add, I just want to say, Nala, you know, I'm so proud of you again. You've come so far, and you have so much further, you know, saying, to go in reference to the success that you've built with your platform, and so much more great blessings is coming to you, and so many great things. And I'm just so proud of you, you know what I mean, for overcoming that, you know, and taking the leap of faith in reference to, like you saying, knowing what you needed to get away from a toxic situation where you wasn't getting the proper help or love that you was seeking or needed, I should say. So, you know, I'm glad that you're in a better place, and you've grown so much. So, you know, congratulations to you.
Yes. And when you come to Georgia, you need to look me up. Okay, now let's stop playing.
Yep. So we here now. Definitely, we all here together. Again, Michael Cox is our last guest. He'll be back soon. You know, he's dealing with some dropping off his daughter. And so, you know, when he's done doing that, you know, he'll contact me, and we be happy to bring him in to add to this conversation, where he's one of our invited celebrity guests today as well. But with that being said, you know, this topic is already really deep, you know, but, you know, this is kind of like the point of the show where, you know, which we already been kind of doing, which is, you know, you can ask anybody anything and just, you know, kind of piggyback off of what someone else has said. But if, you know, I just want to go back to just saying how important it is to, you know, to piggyback off of what Angie said in reference to compliments and stuff like that. So one thing that I do in construction when I'm directing traffic and stuff like that, I give the drivers thumbs up. And people are like, why are you giving everybody a thumbs up? I'm like, because they might not ever go out throughout the day and say and get a compliment. That's like saying good job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling them to wait, be patient, turn here, go around this, and then if they can succeed, they can do that successfully. I give you a thumbs up, like good job, you did it, and they be smiling, they be waving. Some people offer you, now, do you need some water? I'll be like, I'm good, just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? We need to keep the traffic fluid, But just with that being said, though, it just makes people feel good. And so now I see everybody doing that now that I work with. Now everybody giving people thumbs up because it's just good. Like, it's like a pat on the back, what I'm saying, from a distance. So I just think that, what you said, that's so great, Angie, that, and it's so important that we got to give people compliments. And as well, I don't know if you had said this, but just checking on people.
Yes.
You can never check on people too much. You know what I'm saying? Just random text sometime, a random phone call. I might already talk to you, but there's nothing wrong with just double backing that same day and just make sure everything is indeed okay. You know what I'm saying? Because, some people hide behind a big, beautiful smile. Sometimes people hide behind, just the success and everything looks like it's going well when really, personally in their lives, things are not well mentally. So, you know what I mean? What would you like to add to that, Nala?
Well, what I like to add, I agree with what Angie said too, like piggybacking off of her. I work in hotel business. So I'm the first person that people see when they come in there. I've ran into a lot of things. People come in there that are angry, family, going through stuff, gotta go to the hospital, your ICUs type stuff, college students. I get them all. So I'm the first person they see. So no matter what type of day I'm having, I always try to greet them with a smile because they're gonna piggyback off of what if I have an attitude, they're gonna have an attitude too. If and it's gonna make it worse. So I try to smile, but still some people don't know how to reciprocate to that because they're not used to it. So they'll ask and be like, "Why are you so happy today?" And it's like, it's a good day. And then the next thing you open up, how are you? Are you okay? And then you hear this whole spiel for like 15, 20 minutes. But I have to remind myself, like, I'm probably the first person they had to vent to today. So I sit there and listen, no matter how many people I have behind them, and I just apologize to the next person, like, thank you for your patience. But that person needed to get that out. And that's what builds my relationships, even at my job. Like, people look for that. So when they come back, they're like, hey, hey, Lameka, how you doing? And they'll come back and you hear more and more and how their lives are getting better, how this person is doing. But I'm glad I'm that person that they're able to get that off their chest too, because they probably didn't have it.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something about that. I absolutely, I love it. I love it because I also come from the hotel industry, right? And I understand exactly what you're saying. You get it all. And you got to know how to move on to the next person. Because it's like, look, I got to take care of this person, but so nice seeing you. Let me know when you get to your room. Like, you just got to know how to do that. And it's interesting that, and I'm gonna use myself. Us who have gone through the most are the ones that will always get people that come with their stuff to dump on you. And I have learned how to compartmentalize my life, right? So when it comes to doing the things that I do the best that I can and with all smiles and everything. And if I have to get away for a few and detox and get my Bible and Father God, look, I don't know what that was about, but let me tell you what I'm going through and I need you to fix this.
Yes. That's me when I get home.
Yes. And I know that I'm not alone. I thought that I was a very special case in the things that I do until I started talking to other women who do the very same thing. Because it's something about us that God knows what he's doing. He ain't, when you know what your purpose is and when you know what it is that he's doing for you, then is when you know how to deal with the outside world and know that is the outside world. So when you get inside, I get in my room and I just pick up my Bible and I just be like, Father God,
whatever
thank you for getting me through this day. I'm glad I was able to talk to such and such and such and such and put their life in order. Because, honey, look, ain't nobody could put a life in order like Mimie Acosta. And my thing might be in shambles, but I make sure everybody is okay, you know? And we have to know how to get away, and we have to know how to cry and let it out and call somebody and talk about it. You know, sometimes I said it and I will get on the phone and we will detox because that's what we do. We're the people that take care of everybody. So we have to know how to, you know, how to detox, how to tone it down, how to bring ourselves to somebody who can relate. So Nala, you are not alone. Don't be over there playing no games, honey. You got Mimie Acosta now. You got to call and vent, baby.
Yes.
You got to vent.
I'm so sorry. Let me interrupt everyone, please. I'm so sorry. And again, you know, I love what everyone is saying, and you are absolutely right, Mimie. We do that all the time. But Michael Cox is he's able to now come to the show. You know, he's, you know, have taken care of some family business, you know, that was really important. And we're happy to still have him on the show. You know, we still got 30 good minutes left. And so let's bring him in.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Peace. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, right on.
So actually what we want to do is, you know, since you just came to the show, you know, we appreciate, you know, still coming in, you know, after take care of family business. Appreciate that. What we want you to do is please just reintroduce who you are, how, you know, remind them of who your greatness and how people can support your platform. And then from there, I want you to jump into what the topic of the day means to you and your own opinion. And, you know, we keep it brief as we talk about this conversation. Appreciate you.
My name is Michael Cox. I'm out of Chicago originally. I'm on the West Coast now. I'm an international portrait artist, self-taught. The topic. Wow. Okay. In a nutshell.
You've been very modest in reference to who you are. The man's an actor. He's a fashion model, fashion designer. You know, et cetera.
I'm sorry. I hate to blow horns. I'm trying my best to get it popping out here, and just, you know, it's really hard out here to find your way, you know, especially as an adult. If you haven't already found it at maybe 30, 40 years old, you know, a lot of people look to the sky to try to figure it out. You know, a lot of people go illegal. A lot of people do a lot of unscrupulous things just to try to, quote unquote, make it. Fortunately, I wasn't one of those. In a nutshell, as this topic relates to me, it really hits home. The name of my company is called BORNVAIN, which means the epitome of loving oneself. In 2002, my mother passed away from breast cancer and didn't tell anyone. I'm the baby. Excuse me, I'm the baby, and I took it super hard. So essentially, I lived in Atlanta at the time. I went to Clark, Atlanta. And I actually didn't graduate because of my mother's passing, or excuse me, because of the way I was affected by my mother's passing. So when I found out, essentially, I didn't know how to handle it. I tore up the condo, just Hulkamania, the entire condo. When I went back to Chicago for the funeral and estate sale, things of that nature, I was completely oblivious to the fact that I did that to my condo. That's how out of mind I was, which is kind of where the name BORNVAIN came from. So I really loved everybody to get off topic for a second, I really loved everything that everyone said because it kind of also hit home. But one thing that I think that maybe was missing, or I missed, was the depression factor. So the depression factor kicked in with me very, very heavily. And I spent maybe 3 days just on the floor in my condo that I tore up, not understanding why I wasn't told, why it even happened, this, that, and the third. One of the boxes my mother sent to me as a care package contained paint. So when I said I was self-taught, I've never been in anybody's class. I've never taken any drawing lessons, anything of that nature. So when she passed away, one of the things that I threw up against the wall was that box of paints, which of course I knew that it was paints in it. I just never opened it. because I had no interest in painting. So when I got back from the funeral, maybe 2 weeks later, it was maybe 100 degrees that summer for a few days in Atlanta, and I left the windows open, and the paint had dried on the wall in such a way that it kind of wrapped itself around me when I walked in. So I stared at the wall for so long that I kind of conceptualized myself being something else other than what I was. So I don't want to say I had depressing, I had suicidal thoughts, but I was very depressed. So who knows? You know, I can't even say if I even thought that or not. One thing about our family, about the suicide thing, there's a few people, uncles or whatever, back in the past that committed suicide or even attempted suicide in different ways. And I never understood why. I always thought they were kind of weak until that happened to me. So as I stared at the walls, I took the concept of how the paint dried on the walls and on my clothes and on everything. And I came up with the concept of Born Vain. And I also have the tagline of love yourself today when I post, because it's very essential. Matter of fact, the portraits that I do, a lot of people order their faces, which is kind of almost unheard of when people wear their own face. It's not anything new because obviously it goes back for, you know, decades. But the way I do it obviously is in an abstract way. And I just happen to kind of make it look almost exactly like the picture. So I get a lot of business from overseas. I'm probably almost 1,100 orders in as we speak, and I've been in business for 14 years straight. So the depression factor took over me, and I've always tried to push my story and the reason why I do it to people, because you never know how someone feels.
Yes.
And when they get born vain, when they become born vain, it's almost like it's a new improved them. They wear their shirts, they put their portraits on the wall, but when they wear their shirts out in public, it's a walking art gallery. And there's not one person that I have done a shirt for, everybody from Shaka Khan to Farrakhan, since he wants me to name drop, and a number of hundreds of other celebrities and dignitaries, sports figures, politicians, et cetera, et cetera. When they wear their shirt amongst people, they always get this kind of air that they haven't gotten before. Like I can put on a Gucci, that I've heard this a million times. I could put on a Gucci, a Louis Vuitton, or you know, any expensive type of clothing, and no one will say anything. But when I put on Born Vain, someone will come up to me, old ladies, anybody. It doesn't matter race, creed, or color. They'll come up and ask me, "Can I touch you? Can I touch your shirt?" Which is something I never dreamed about.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
No, man, you could again come so far as well, you know what I'm saying? And my condolences, you know, in reference to your mom. I know it's been a while, but you know, that pain never goes away. I understand that, you know, when you lose someone that you really love, someone that inspired you, motivated you, influenced you, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's something that's always there. So man, really proud
I
of
actually
you. You know,
I actually feel this way a lot when I'm painting. So I'm sorry guys, it happens a
No,
lot.
you're good.
You know.
You're good. You're good. You got me over here. Trying not to
Right.
tear up, but it's gonna happen by nature because that's who we are. That's who we are.
Yeah,
You had a
absolutely.
moment of silence afterwards. Nobody didn't know what to
Absolutely.
say.
Yeah, that actually
Um,
that was a
I'm
little.
a
Yes, go
I'm a
ahead.
super introvert, so the depression thing comes in and out of my life a lot. Even though I'm successful per se, is what they would perceive as being successful. There's always another tier to our lives of where we're trying to reach.
Yes.
So just 3 or 4 days ago, you know, I do a lot of affirmations,
Yes.
and from the last 14 years, it almost hasn't been a week that went by that another celebrity that I've never heard of or never thought that would call me, or their people will call me and order something. So the affirmations that I've made recently have been even more top tier people. And the week after I did that, I got an order from Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance. And I'm only dropping those two names because he is an advocate of self-love, and she also is a huge advocate of self-love. And I got a lot of respect for those two. So much so that she asked me not to post anything on any social media because they're private people. And obviously I'm not a attention whore, so I don't really, need that type of attention. But as much as, I'm sure everybody wants that type of admiration from someone like that. And I really wanted everyone to know that I had I was plugged in with these people, but I wasn't hurt by that so much. But the affirmation that I made really made me feel like, you know what, Mike, you really have to stay true to what you're doing. And this show, this program is affording me the opportunity to not only share my story, but meet other people that are like-minded and entrepreneurials that really want more, and I really want more. I want the world. I want to pull down the stars. I'm not gonna lie, and I really appreciate you, brother and sister, for having me on the show, because I very rarely feel comfortable with sharing that. And being an introvert, of course, it depression comes in, and I try to fight it off by going over the many pictures of people that have my artwork, not just celebrities, just thousands of people all over the world.
Yes.
And it kind of puts me back in a perspective like, Mike, you really are shaming yourself by feeling that way because you got your foot on the gas, but
Right.
depression don't it doesn't have no name on it. It's
That's
if it's
right.
on your ass, it's on your ass. You know what I mean? However you think you are, however you think, how high or low you are, it's still there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And we
Hey,
have
you already know.
ooh.
I'm
Go ahead, Mike.
Mimi.
I'm sorry.
No.
No, we
No,
have
please.
we have a very interesting way of masking when we're portraying our best selves to everybody, and my condolences, to you as far as your mom is concerned.
Indeed.
My mom is 3 times. This is going to be our 3rd round. She's also battling breast cancer. She beat it the first 2 times. Now we're getting ready for radiation in the next couple of weeks. So we've been battling this for like over 20 years with her. And now I'm just like, I'm on this herb mission, when it comes to like everything. My brother is diabetic and he had a stroke recently. So I'm taking care of him. And I'm just like, look, we got this.
Yeah,
we just got it. We get with God and we just ask God to just give us the strength to do what we got to do for our loved ones and just move forward one day at a time. Because
Indeed.
there is no to me, there is no next week or next year or the next 5 years. My time is now. So I'm just trying to do the most that I can do now with as many people that I can do it with, because you never know when your card is going to be pulled. So I just have to give it to you for everything that you're doing. That's amazing. I'm gonna look you up now. You're gonna have somebody going like, yo, Mike, where you at? What's going on? Because I'm into TV, TV, music, film, all that good old stuff myself. I was actually in the West Coast for about a year with an entire team and built some really amazing relationships. So I'll definitely reach out to you if I have to plug you in with some folks. Just I'll do it, because that's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. So if things are just a little bit out of whack, just know that it gets better.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you're doing amazing things already. So it's just like, look, just one day at a time. Nobody is keeping tabs,
Yeah, no doubt.
Except that little one. It's probably like,
Yeah, he's on me. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
There was a stage play written about my life, and it was put on in DeSable, 2 shows at DeSable a couple years ago, about my life story. And there were a bunch of 2 or 3 different actors that portrayed me. It was kind of interesting to watch me and what went on in my life. And from that, I've had a couple, and I wasn't in the play, but from that, I've been in a couple movies. Nice. And I've been slated for a couple more this winter for the second.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm definitely working.
Yes, and you
You
have
know.
to, man. You get on the West Coast. You have to go 100 miles a minute.
Yeah. So I'm running. I hit the ground running. So I'm ready for anything you guys can throw at me.
Great.
Yeah, and that's so great. Again, Mike, you already know, Mr. Cox, you can come to me anytime, brother, you know what I'm saying, need to talk, holla at me, you know what I'm saying, I'm not never too far away, we brothers for life now, you already know
Indeed,
how we
indeed.
rock.
And you know what? I'm sorry, man. The first time, not to cut your science, the first time that you had me on your show, I promised you a shirt. And like I told you yesterday, man, I've been super forgetful because I need somebody else. I need another brain. You know what I mean? To attach on to what I got going on. So I've been forgetting a lot of stuff. But just send me your size, brother. And I got your picture already and your address, and I got it to you next week, brother. I'm sorry about that.
No, brother, you already know it's all love. And now that I'm
Yeah.
doing, brand clothing, you already know I got to send you something back. But man, thank you so much, brother. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely be an honor to, wear your clothing, to be associated in that special group of people that already have your clothing.
Thank you.
With that
Thank
being
you, my
said,
brother.
real quick, you know what I mean? Thank you again for everybody that's being here. Thank you for you all's patience, both Angie and Nala's Den as well. And we actually have our first comment by one of my Facebook friends, Deborah Cosby. She says, I say my affirmations where'd it go? She says, I say my affirmations every day, and I've never heard that before. Wearing one of your shirts, people will come up and want to touch it. Wow, that was the first. So that is pretty amazing, to where people want to be physical when they see something visually. That's pretty powerful. That happens. Now, with that being said, both Nala or Angie, would you all like to, piggyback on anything that Mike has said in reference to what he's been through in reference to the depression, maybe, and how that relates to suicide awareness month?
I think it's real awesome that Mike would stand up and share his story, especially when it comes to men. Like you said, men are sometimes prideful and they don't open up to what they're going through, or ashamed of what they're going through because they're afraid they're going to be judged. So with you coming out with your story and doing what you're doing with other people, I think that is very, very awesome, because you don't get that from men showing their vulnerability to the world because they're afraid of the feedback.
Indeed. Indeed.
No, absolutely.
Big time. I think the whole painting thing might be your outlet more than you think. That might have been your purpose. Like you said, your mom basically left that paint, that box of paint for you, and you never really like opened it or whatever. I think a lot of things happen for a reason, and you are using your purpose more than you realize.
Right.
I agree totally. And I also want to add on, yes, it has been a huge outlet for me, but men need to talk to men a lot more. We have this stigma about emotion, being emotional. Luckily, I have some pretty good friends that know that I'm an emotional guy, and they're used to it. So it's not any. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't have to put on a still face or a front. When I'm speaking to them about my personal feelings, and they don't either. But amongst my other friends, which or associates, I can tell that it'll be pulling teeth if they were trying to give their account of how they really felt. You know what I mean? It would have to do with they would have to have some type of accelerant, a drinking, or some type of blunt or something to make them speak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not that type of person. Luckily, I'm not that type of person. So, yeah, painting has definitely been my outlet, and I have been fortunate enough to have some friends that I can kind of connect with and get my feelings off when I have to. You know what I mean? So, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't.
That was definitely mom telling you something. When you
Yes.
threw that box against that wall and you came back and you saw that was like that right there was it. That was
Well,
your
it's no question. It's no question. I was a lost young man at that time, and I had no idea where I was gonna go. I wasn't graduating from college like all the rest of my peers, and I felt like a failure. And I couldn't blame my mother's passing on anything. It really got to a point where I was feeling like I stressed her out enough to give her a care. You know, it was just a lot of different thoughts to go through a young man's head at that time. And it caused a lot of depression. And obviously, you know, depression is the first state of suicide,
Yes.
you know. So it was a huge factor in my life, painting. And I haven't looked back. And I'm just I'm so appreciative of everybody that rocks with me. And the skill set has come from practice
Yes.
and staying with it. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously at first it wasn't like that. It took me a lot to cultivate not having any skill set at first to have some skill set now. So again, I'm really appreciative and fortunate, you know. And if I can do anything for any of you guys, just to help out or to give you some love, I'll love to do that. That's what I do, you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No doubt.
Let me add too. We have another comment also from Akashi. She says, "Forgive me typing. I'm walking as I'm typing. Much continued success, my brother." And she says, "I agree. We all need to express our feelings. We need an outlet we can feel comfortable in."
Yes.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. You want to speak on that? What she was saying, Mimie?
Yeah.
Reference to me.
See, Michael, what you did? You're starting something over here. No, my thing is, I mean, look, it's really interesting. We're talking our moms up. Mine is calling me, but she knows that I get with her. I told her about the show earlier. She's probably trying to go crazy trying to get into the show. I shared her the link, and she's like, "I'm gonna be at church." I'm like, "Okay, mommy." Well, she's like, "I'm gonna get in there afterwards." Okay, ma, do what you gotta do. So now she's probably stalking me trying to get in. But it's all good. It's all love. Look, my thing is, guys, and Mike, it's really interesting that you say that because I thought that I was going to be an artist when I was little. Like, you know, I have a brother that is amazing with the pencils and the art and the abstract and all that good old stuff. My thing has always been, if I can do the house with the tree, with the three little figures holding hands, if I could master that one picture, I'll be good. I've never been able to master it, so I know that that's not me. But I so love artistry. I have a goddaughter that's amazing with the paints as well, and it takes an interesting type of, I don't know what I want to call it, but it's something in here and in here that is awesome. And when you put that together and put that love on whatever you put it on, whether it's a t-shirt or a wall or, you know, that big old white sheet, is just amazing. Like things that I can't even come up with. When I see it, I'm amazed by it. And if that is the outlet to get you out of whatever it is that you're going through, then you just paint on, you know?
Yeah.
Paint on.
I want to say one more thing, sisters. If you guys know, see, the thing is, like I said, men keep things inside, and they're really never going to tell you how they really feel. I'm not gonna lie. No matter what key you think you have, they're not gonna tell you. Yes. But if you guys have friends that are males, it's a way to speak to them where they can kind of relate to you and let you know. You know what I'm saying? And it's really necessary because a lot of men these days, they do a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Women do too, but I'm speaking from my point of view that we really move in a different way nowadays. Right. You know, we can even bring up the, you know, I don't even want to mention my man's name, but we can even mention his situation. And, you know, you would have to be a depressed soul inside to not only treat women like that, but to treat yourself like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't even think he had anybody on his level that he could talk to. You know what I'm saying? So it's just necessary. I think you guys could reach out to some of the brothers and, you know, have a little conversation with them, have a little forum with them. You know what I mean? Because maybe you'll pull something out of them that they didn't even know they had in them, you know?
Yeah. I've actually tried to do that with some friends that I've known that have gone through some things. And it gets to the, wow, I think she's liking me. No, I'm really checking on you.
Exactly.
They're not used to it.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what happens too, that a lot of people are just not used to having someone call them and say, hey, look, okay, I see what you're doing, but how are you doing? Because it's a big difference.
It totally is. It totally is. I agree. Yes.
Mike, are you
I'm
okay over
sorry.
there? Talk to us, Mike. Come on, talk to us.
No, so
Me?
really, what
Oh,
I said it.
we've been here. This has been a really, really powerful show. I'm
Yes.
so grateful for everybody added opinions, comments, stories. You know what I mean, truth. You know what I mean, everything. It's definitely helped not only ourselves, some of us who on this panel today, but I'm sure and guaranteed that it's going to help someone in the future that's going to see this program. And I'm just grateful for everybody that tuned in. Thank you, Deborah, for leaving those comments. We appreciate you doing the chat, utilizing the chat. But when it comes to final thoughts toward this topic, both Angie and Nala, I want to hear some final thoughts in reference to this topic from both of you ladies before me and Mimie wrap up the show, please. So go ahead, Nala, please. Then I'll go to Angie, please.
My final thoughts on this is, taking from what everybody else is saying is number one, build solid relationships. We really need it. And like she was saying before, you try to reach out or you try to build these things and they come difficult because people don't understand that you're really a genuine friend. So we have to be able to understand that people really do care about you. People really do care about your feelings. And everybody's not trying to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Like they really care how you're doing.
Right.
And secondly, reach out to mental groups or, people like us that are going through the same stuff, begin to talk about it because that's what's going to help you. When you're trying to hide it or you're not feeling good enough, you begin to put yourself in the failure status. So once you begin to speak out and say how you feel or what you've been through, you will understand that there's people like you that can help you get through your situation.
Well said. Thank you so much for that. Angie, what would your final thought pertaining to suicidal prevention awareness conversation, please?
I would pretty much kind of finish off what I was saying earlier about just always like encouraging, uplifting somebody, always complimenting, always like checking in because you never know what a person's going through. Pay attention to those silent cries. So just always be upbeat to the next person. Always be kind. I always say be kind because you just, like I said, you just never know. I always preach on the whole self-love, just love yourself, be yourself. That's the biggest thing that I always say. So
Yeah, absolutely. Is that why the Alove?
always, well, a love has come from basically a love of many things, but I'm always encouraging people anyways because I feel like I needed it growing up, obviously. And, I've had different like mentors and people who helped me. And because I've had it, obviously want to share the same love to others, basically.
Okay, Alove, I love it.
Yes.
Yes. So now, thank you both, ladies, for being here. Thank you, my brother Michael, for being here.
Yes.
Thank you, Mimie, for always being here since day one. You know what I mean? Asked you to be the host, co-host with me with this show, and again, I don't know why I receive so much favor. You know what I mean? And I'm not complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? But Mimie has been in this industry for over 35 years. Started off doing commercials at the tender age of 14, 15 years old, doing TV commercials with a beach ball and drinking
Tell
soda.
nobody
And
that.
soda from,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? What was the name of that soda? Go ahead, shout out
Oh
the
my
soda.
God, it was a brow soda, man. Shout out to brow soda. I don't even know what none of them people at, but you know what I'm saying? Look, every now and then we put the commercial up because it was just the funniest commercial. But they had me in a water and I had to come up drinking the brow soda. And it had, we from the Virgin Islands, when it rains, you've got all the tadpoles and all those frogs and all that stuff that comes out. And I'm coming from under the water with tadpoles everywhere. So they were like, you know what, let's just put her up on the rocks with the water coming down on her. And that's the shot that they took. And, folks ran with it. Like if people only know the stuff that we go through as either actors or like, we go through a lot, just to make something happen. And the final shot is always the great shot, but it's what you got to go through to get that shot. You know, even at 15, 16 years old, it's like, what the heck are these people doing out of me? Is this the life I'm going to be living with them, you know, turning me around, dropping me in water? Like, no, drink some more. I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. By the time I finished that commercial, I was drinking because they was telling me, don't drink it. Just do like you're drinking it. And I didn't understand that. Your girl was drinking away.
Drinking all them brown sodas. That's what's
Yes.
up. No, thank you for sharing that. You know, and Mimie has done so many other great, great, great things. You know, there's something that we do on this show religiously is that, you know, it's very important for me to, you know, because I have a personal relationship with each guest that's on this show. And then it's my pleasure to introduce you all to how great Mimie is. And then Mimie is so big hearted and kind of a person, kind spirited, like spirited, you know what I mean? She goes out her way to try to see how she can be supportive to each of the guests that have been on this show, and she opens up her platform to see how she can help and assist or be a support to you all. So with that being said, because again, I have a relationship with each of you all on my own level that it is, I want to start with Nala. First, you know, please remind them how they can support you, and how they can, you know, if they maybe want to be on one of your shows. You know, could you tell the people that, please?
How you can support me is you can follow me again at In the Den with Nala all underscores. On Facebook is Lameka Huntley. Instagram is In the Den with Nala all underscores. How you can support us? We do support mental health right here at Power 904. I have a podcast that I do throughout the week, from hours on the radio station from 1 to 2 p.m. You can find interviews. You can send us people that you may think have a story to tell. We do artists, DJs, and producers, but we also focus on other businesses as well. We are real big on authors writing books because they always have a story to tell. You have your actors, you know, they're acting out these different people, but at the same time, sometimes the roles they're playing set they say reminds them of who they really are. So everybody really has a story to tell. They're just afraid to tell it, or they need that platform to feel comfortable of. Like I said, it's called In the Den for a reason. When you get your friends, your family in the den, you begin to open up and you share things with each other. So this is what my platform is for.
Love it.
Love
I
it.
love it. I love it. I love it. And so, thank you for sharing that so much. And you know what I was saying was because I have a personal relationship with everybody, and because life tomorrow is not guaranteed, what I choose to utilize the ending of the show for every single episode, I want to tell everybody who's a guest how I feel about you and just send some prayers, you know what I'm saying, to you and just show you some love. So in reference to you, Nala, I'm so grateful for, you know, the relationship that we're building. You know what I mean? I'm so proud of you for everything that you have done and continue to do, especially in the realm of mental health and how you're helping other people, and how you have used that to also continue to grow and help yourself due to your situation, your past. Thank you for being supportive to my backdrop. You can actually find Knowledge Den on my new backdrop. Her logo is on there too. So thank you so much for that support. I really appreciate you, Queen. And I just want to pray over your safety. Just pray that God continue to bless you in abundance with your show and everything that you have going on, and all your future endeavors, you know what I mean? And watch over all of your family and friends, and may you be protected, you know, in Jesus' name. I said
Amen.
it.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
So, you know, I just want to send you that love. And then, you know, next, if I can, I want to move on to Angie, please. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Angie, please, could you tell the people how they can support your platform, please? And you know, and everything that it is, your final words in reference to your platform and how people can support you, please.
So you guys can follow me on Facebook, Angie A Love, or Instagram, A.love underscore number one diva. I guess my last, statement of words would just be, put God first, always stay prayed up, and always be kind. Like, I'm just big on always being kind.
Right.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And kind, you have definitely been, and that's why one reason why you're here today. And I'm so grateful that you accepted the invite and made time for me, like you have been doing a whole lot. You know, you participate in our first fashion show here in Bloomington, made the travel, you know what I'm saying, did an excellent job. So happy for you. Then turned around and I was able just through the universe, you know what I mean, and shout out to I can't not shout out Miss Queen Dalamar Dominique, you know what I'm
Shout her
saying?
out.
Thank you so much for yes, shout her out, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the queen. And you know, we had a small miscommunication, and God always puts people in a position to, you know, make things heal. And in conclusion, the fast forward, it's because we both like very similar, the same. So, you know what I'm saying? It's about sometimes
I mean, we
Leos, we
they
like
practically the same birthday. We got the
same
same
birthday.
birthday.
The same birthday, we are like the same, like so similar. And so once that was overstood and understood, it's like, oh, okay, that's why. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I love you so much, Queen. I'm just so proud of you. We was able to under the universe, actually after you did the fashion show, later a few weeks later, we were on the same stage in a culture exchange international show in front of kings and queens,
Wow.
which is just from Africa. So that's just like crazy. You know what I'm saying? What an experience. And I'm just so grateful to have been. That was my first time ever modeling myself and walk the runway and beside someone that was great like yourself and other greats who have been doing this for years. And you have, you know, set the path and opened up doors for others. And you just continue to show people so much love. I'm so proud of you. And I pray to God
Thank
continue to watch over you,
Yes.
your family, your friends. May you be blessed in abundance, you know, with great prosperity as well. And just, you know what I mean, you already know if anything it is that you need as well. I didn't say this to Nala, but as well as you too, Nala, you know, anything you need that I can help, you know, I'm definitely here for you. And thank you, Angie. I'm here for you. You already know. And I look forward to if you can participate in our next fashion show that we're gonna come up in
you.
November,
Lord,
December.
I'm in.
Yeah, you already know.
Do
And
it.
so, hey,
She's like, let's go.
She
yeah,
said, I'm
that's
in
right.
from now. Okay. You don't even have to call and ask. The answer is yes. I love
No,
it.
but definitely a pleasure. And shout out to Benjamin too. Can't help but to shout out Benjamin Scott. So thank you for all your support, Queen, and you know, just God bless you. And Mike, he might have lost signal, you know what I'm saying? I hate that he lost signal, or maybe he was shy and he didn't want me to say these to him. But you know, so let me put the camera back on me then real quick. But thank you, Angie, so much.
Yes.
But let me speak about Mike real quick. Despite he's not here presently, thank you for him being on the show too. You know what I mean? Man, you know, first of all, that shirt that he's offering me, them self portraits, them things aren't cheap. Them he them thing is taxed. You know what I'm saying? It's expensive because it's like Michelangelo tax. Like it's real, you know what I'm saying? Because so many special people that he named have it. So it's kind of rare.
Mhm.
So for him to offer that to me, I'm very humbled. Actually, Michael, hold on, I need some water. Can I take a time? Mimi,
Yes,
give
yes.
me a time real quick. I gotta get water.
Is he choking out too?
Oh,
Hold
Lord.
on. I had to go far. It's right here. Hold on.
No, that's
I'm losing
okay.
water.
That's okay. Do your thing.
Mm.
Okay. I think we lost Angie there for a split second too. And she'll
Oh yeah,
probably be back.
she's still here.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so in reference to
Are you
Michael
going
Cox,
out?
you know, oh hold on, let me let me be real.
Were you going out?
Oh, okay, that didn't work.
You got it?
Oh, okay. I didn't know because I didn't cook. I didn't have
Well, she doesn't know that we can hear her. That's all. Yeah, she had okay, undo this. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sorry. So in reference to Michael Cox, when I started my show during the pandemic 2020, when I started the show Celebrity Interviewer, I said it. It started off really hot. And I want to say that, you know, actually Michael Cox was my third guest, you know, out of
Mm,
hundreds and hundreds of guests that has been on this show. He was my third guest. I'll never forget. And I'm so grateful. And that's where the connection, started, after, I shared the stage with him, after he honored the legend, the iconic Roy Ayers with a self-portrait of Roy Ayers, you know what I'm saying? He was on stage doing that. And I was part of Roy Ayers' entourage, I'm humbled to say, by working with Chicago Bridge magazine. But again, may Michael Cox be safe.
Yes.
May, God continue to watch over him and all his family and friends. May he be blessed in abundance and,
Yes.
continued great success. And you know what I mean? He already know that I'm one of the people that he can always reach out to. And I look forward to networking with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Much love and blessings to you all day, brother. You already know. Shout out to Born Vain.
Yes. That's
Um,
what's up.
and so, Mimi, if I may, please tell the people how they can support your platform and support you, if you may.
Yes, you can support me by hitting me up on my social media at MIA Entertainment Group, all spelled out together on IG. So that's at MIA Entertainment Group or website miaentertainmentgroup.com. Okay, or you can Google Mimie Acosta, send me a message. Yeah. That's it. I'm gonna keep it right there, short and sweet. But that's how you all can yes, that's how you can send me some love, let me know what's going on. Mimi Acosta is always ready to throw some nuggets your way. You throw some my way, I'm gonna throw some your way too. So let's go. Let's go. We're all in this together.
McDonald's nugget fight.
That's it. I'm always ready for it.
That's right. That's right. Hey, so thank you so much for you, Mimi. You are such a blessing in my life. We've been rocking for many years now. We've done so many things, and I just love to document things. You know what I mean? We've had a YouTube show to where we was giving away prizes and having a contest for artists with the
Yes.
best clean music, not just any music, but we
Right.
challenge artists to have clean music and send it in, and we picked the best winner, out of that. And we also had celebrity judges,
Mhm.
while we hosted it. We also always had three celebrity judges. One of our celebrity judges that was there in the beginning, I want to shout out Tion Brown, international thriller,
Yes.
who is just a powerhouse in the business world and also in the industry. But he made time for not only he made time for us, you know what I mean?
Yes,
And
he
I'm just
did.
grateful for his time as well. Um, but yeah, you've hosted second season of From Her Point of View talk show. We've
Yes.
been doing this show, like I said, for now going on. This our third season, third year doing this straight. What else we done? Mimi, what am
Well,
I
we're doing
forgetting?
this show, and
Food.
now we have our cooking show.
Yes, we have Food Chronicles with Mimi and I Said It, which is now the last Sunday of every month. You can catch us here on I Said It Management YouTube. And who knows what else we're gonna hit you with, you know what I mean? Stay tuned. But with that
Yes.
being said, I love you so much. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for just continue to show up to me. For always finding ways to not say no when I ask you for something. I don't know how you do it, but you always just like, all right, yes, I'll do it, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay. Like I was hoping, but I was just expecting like you was, and Mimi is definitely busy. Like we all movers and shakers on this show, but
Yes.
Mimi be moving. And for some reason you know, she believes in me, you know what I'm saying? And I believe in her. The feelings is mutual. And
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
just so grateful and humbled. And I just want to say that, you already know that the support is there. I love you so much. Anything you need, I
Love you
try to
too.
help
Yes.
as much as I can. And, may you continue to be watched over and blessed in abundance and
Thank you.
great prosperity and, you know, a hundredfold, and, man, may God continue to watch over you and you be protected, all your family and friends in Jesus' name.
Thank you.
I said it.
Amen. Thank you. Thank
Amen.
you. And the same to you. I said it. The same to you. Much love. Thank you for so much because you do it all. I think every day of the week you have a podcast or something going on. I know that it's a little bit crazier than what we know, but please get rest, drink lots of water, and let's all mind our business.
That way.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much. And let me put it like this. Yeah, so thank you again, Nala, for being here, making the time. You know, what I'm saying
Yes.
learned a lot, new things that I didn't know about you. Definitely was inspired and just happy for you with everything that you got going on down there in Florida. When I'm there, I hope to connect with you soon in person. But until then, what I mean, we just gonna keep rocking out virtually, as long as the universe allows us to, what I mean,
Yes.
God always being in control and getting the final word. So I'm just grateful and thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, Mimi,
Yes.
for just being my co-host. You know what I'm saying? As I'm your co-host.
Yes.
So
And
thank you
Nala,
so
we're
much.
gonna touch base behind the scenes, okay? So we
Oh,
can stay connected, honey.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for being able to stay around. And what I mean, I understand the show. We told everyone the shows will be an hour. So, obviously Angie has some things to do, Michael has some things to do.
Yes.
But again, thank you for staying around beyond the hour with us as we close out this show. And just, like I say, let's just continue to work, what I
That's
mean, and
right.
see what, the universe has for us.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. Yep. That way, that way.
That
Let's
And
way.
if I may, yeah, let me share this flyer one more time of what the flyer was of representing everyone that was on the show today, and what a great show it was today.
Yes.
Another great episode. So grateful. Yes. So thank you again for Nala, aka Lameka Huntley. Thank you so much for Angie A. Love and Michael Cox, aka Born Vain, and
Yes.
Mimie Acosta, aka MIA Entertainment Group. Yes. And then yeah, I'm just when it comes to me, how I always just ask any support is just subscribe. This is where you can find all of our shows that Mimi spoke about, and I have some other shows as well. This is actually another show we'll be doing next week. This will be our fourth episode. It's a new show called Scar Tissue, and this is our guest. His name is Banks, and he's out of Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Very talented artist. And despite he is handicapped, he does not let any of that stop him. And so he's going to be speaking about what his scars are and how he has overcome that and how, it affected his self-esteem, but he still keep going, what I mean, through his faith and just belief in himself. So, and that's hosted by the legendary Selena Turner, who's out of Detroit.
Yes.
So I'm grateful to for another episode of that. And that's as you see, October the 3rd at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Mhm.
So hopefully everyone can tune in to that. And then last but not least, hey, here it is. Here is our new backdrop. And the two people that are here, you can see their logo. You can see MIA Entertainment Group is up there beside I Say the Management Boutique logo at the top. And then in the corner, you see Nala's Den right there in the white toward the bottom. But get it not for let's not make no mistake. Anywhere that the logo is at is very important. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Every
Mhm.
logo in here, somebody is a mover. They mover and
Yes.
shakers. They are very, very important people. You know what I mean? And there's only so much room. So what I do is when I created this is about also color coordination. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Sometimes I have a darker color, so I gotta put it with a lighter color, and then I try to put the gold with, like the green, and just, do it like that so it be popping, and I felt like it
Yes.
came out good. And I'm just grateful for all the energy that's on this backdrop, and just grateful for everybody, like I say, that's on here. So again, thank you so much. I'm gonna always share this every show as part of the promotion that I promise. And
Mhm.
yeah, that way. So
That way.
again, thank you so much for everybody being here today. This is the square table where you can get back in your square only at the square table with me and Mimi. So hey, come get in y'all square every Thursday, the last Thursday of every month. At what time, Mimi?
At 7 p.m. Look, 7 p.m. Eastern, and
6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
there you go. Because I don't keep up with
Yep.
his
And
time. I
then
only keep up with
4,
my time.
and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I don't know
Yes.
what time in Africa, but y'all can figure it out. Just Google it. I don't know. Whatever time y'all at in other countries, y'all just have to Google it. But just show up. You know what
But
I'm
if
saying?
you
That's
stay,
all I
look,
can
if
say.
you
Or
stay
catch
in
a
touch with
replay.
our social media platforms, then you're gonna know because we post and post and post. So you will never go not knowing. You will never say, you know what, I didn't know. No, if you check our social media, then you'll have that information. That's it.
Right. And that's the good thing about subscribing, because you'll get a notification.
Yes. Subscribe.
Every time we go live.
Yes.
Absolutely. Data management. That's where we're at right now. So thank you so much to MIA Entertainment Group, Mimie Acosta, Knowledge Den, aka Lameka. Thank you so much, Queens. It's been a pleasure. Have a great rest of your day, and be safe though.
Yes.
Bye.
One love and God bless. I said it. Let's go. That way.
You already know. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
See you later.
I love y'all.
Love
All
you
right, be
too.
safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.
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 All right, bye.